I was invited to an RFK event. I was invited by somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, very, very high up. People know who this person is, this fucking group, okay? They came in here.
Big deal.
Yeah, they came in here and they invited me. Tony, you got to come. You got to be there. You know, you're going to meet some high-level people, high-profile people. You're going to rub shoulders with them. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be fucking seen at an RFK fucking event. I don't give a fuck what you pay me, who you introduce me to. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be there.
Hey Cam, how's everything going? I haven't seen you in a while.
You know, it's been a busy week, but I'm none the worse for wear.
Awesome. Same with me. I am so happy that Olympics is over. I couldn't believe it. Did you see that Tom Cruise did that? I don't know what it was. He came cruising down from the top of the stadium right down to the floor. Isn't it crazy?
I mean, he still wants to be relevant, but
for what reason?
I like the breakdancing because that was like comic relief.
I heard about that. I didn't see that. But you know what? They're not going to do it the next Olympics in LA. They're not going to do it.
She accomplished something then. She ruined it for everybody.
Thank God.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, Tony.
Tony, how are you?
How's it going?
Good.
Awesome.
Good to see you, man.
Looking good.
What's going on, man?
How you feeling?
Feel good. Always feel good.
Yeah. Looking sharp.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Me?
Yeah, what are you
I'm
drinking?
drinking one of my girly drinks.
Looks good. Hey, Will. So what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the
on you,
Olympics.
Kind of quieted down. I walked up.
Well,
what's going on?
We were talking about the Olympics.
Yeah.
We don't want to make you mad.
Tom Cruise came cruising down from the upper deck, on the zip line.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually coming in. Like, thank God that shit's over.
Oh no.
It's fuck. We don't have to be tortured with it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about it, and I think about how so many of the men and women in the Olympics are just so ungrateful.
Yeah.
They're so ungrateful. I don't know if you heard this, but there's a basketball player, the Olympic basketball team, the USA team. They won the gold, right? So somebody interviews, there's a basketball player named Kevin Durant. You ever heard of him?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So they interview him and they ask him, how did it feel? How did it feel to represent the United States, to wear the colors, to have the USA emblazoned across your jersey in the front? How did that feel? And you would think his answer might be, because the first thing I heard was that people were just going crazy about his response. People were saying shit like, like his response should be engraved on government buildings.
What did he say?
Mount
What did he say?
People were saying that it should be the slogan of the decade.
Okay,
I swear to God, I'm not fucking kidding.
This has to be something
So I'm thinking, wow, did he say something about wow, you know what? We were honoring our veterans that have fought and died for this country. Was he talking about maybe? Did his answer include? Yeah, I felt proud representing 300 million Americans. Was his answer, hey, you know what? I was proud just to be an American and to win gold for the country that I love. What do you think? Did he say any of those things?
Probably not.
Fuck no, he didn't say any of those things. What he said was, a lot of bullshit happens in this country, but a lot of great stuff happens too. That was it. And people thought, that's how low the standard has fallen.
So people thought that should be engraved on buildings.
On buildings.
So the people that like that kind of phraseology, they don't have the mindset to even build a building. That's a fallen culture that thinks that way.
Yeah. We're degraded so much.
Yeah.
Our society and patriotism is gone. It's decayed so much that people are promoting somebody like him that is espousing. I mean, if you think about it, what he said was really woke. That's what it was.
Yeah,
sure.
Degenerate.
Yeah.
It's like he's trying to attack our civilization, our society, everything.
Well, you know what? This fucker, when you think about it, he I wonder if when he said a lot of bullshit happens, like what? Like making $42 million a year. Your net worth is probably $300 million plus.
Yeah.
Well, you live in a 10,000 square foot home. You have corporate sponsors paying you millions. Corporate sponsors, corporations that were founded by white old men. They always call them old white men. The same old white men that founded the NBA, that gave you a fucking job. So these
grievance culture, Tony. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Grievance culture.
These MFers like him, he needs to be next time they allow him to play basketball, they say, when you come back from fucking France, you got to be fucking put on your fucking knees and you better kiss the fucking ground and then stand up, put your hand over your heart and recite the Pledge of Allegiance and then sing the fucking Star Spangled Banner by yourself.
Do you think he knows either one of those?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't know either one of those. No. So what's going on with you? So you had an interesting week, right? Any updates on your J6 case?
So my Fed case, I mean, it's kind of wait and see right now. As you remember, it was like, a year and a half ago.
Yep.
You and I were talking with Bo, my original federal public defender. He told me back then I was going to get discovery. That's like a fundamental thing. I want to see what their evidence is against me. I'm still wrestling.
You have a right to that.
I have a right to that. I've been asking for it over and over again. The government assigns me these people, and they basically have like conservatorship over me. They have control over me. So if they don't give me something, I got to do something about it in order to make sure that this is understood, because my fate is in their hands.
Yeah.
And they're not giving me the discovery. So they said they would, but Tony, to be honest with you, I am on borrowed time right now. I got about 10 weeks until I make that trip to DC. And I'm not afraid to go to DC and face the music, but I want to go prepared. And there's a lot there, and I want to be able to see it. And they're not letting me so far, but we'll see. They said they're going to let me see it finally. God knows. I don't know.
Well, you still have that recording between you and Bo, that conflict you guys had.
Yeah.
Bo acknowledged that I was
in
supposed to
that
get
public
it.
space. Yeah, no, the one where you guys had that conflict. You guys, went to war with each other at the federal building, and we didn't get to play that last time, but we're gonna play it this time. Hopefully, we're gonna play it this time. If we can get the recording, if we can clean it up. I think there was a bug in it, but we're gonna try to make that work so people can hear what these people are really fucking like.
What they're doing.
Like what they're really, because the way I look at it is, during the last sit down that we had, number 6, we showed what happened between you and your 2 public defenders in the hallway, right? So when I look at that, I think to myself, they're outing themselves as people that present themselves as there to defend you.
But they're adversarial.
But they fucking don't like you. They don't like what you stand for.
No.
And because people who act that way, there's no way that they care about you, or they care about what you believe in or what you're fighting for.
Yeah.
So they revealed themselves, and this next one that we're going to share is going to reveal it even more.
We can meet alone to preserve the attorney-client privilege, or not at all. That's the instructions.
So are you quitting my case?
I'm not quitting your case. If you want to talk to my supervisor and have her explain to
Then
you why I cannot meet,
until this resolved, you need to respond to my emails with an email back explaining.
You're not telling me what to do. Listen,
Because you need to be held accountable. And
There's been
stop.
a
Get out of
breakdown.
my face! Get the fuck out of my face! You don't step up to me. Step back.
Sir?
Step back.
Sir, exit.
Step back.
Get out of here
Step
right
back. Get out of my face.
Get out of here
You
right
don't
now.
get in my face.
Get out
You
of
don't
here
step
right
in my
now.
face with your finger. He witnessed it. Get out of my face. You don't come at me aggressive.
I got it.
You don't fucking do that shit, punk bitch.
I'll pray for you.
No, you won't. You're a liar. Like your father, the devil. You don't step in my face with your finger up to my face. And he saw it.
He did point his finger. He put his finger.
He didn't step up to me with his finger in my face. You gotta control yourself. I got a reason. You don't. I mean, I'm okay with sharing it. We'll see. I mean, Bo messed me up. It was ineffectual assistance of counsel. He wasted a whole year on my case and giving me nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't give me anything. He admitted there was like 10,000 hours of video. I've gotten to see none of that. Like, they gave me like a little token 10 hours of video. That doesn't cut it. If I'm going to go to trial, and I'm willing to go to trial and face the music, but I want to be equipped. I want to see what their evidence is against me. I have that right. I earned it. I earned that right as a U.S. citizen to have due process and a fair trial. If I'm going to go on trial, you can't have it both ways. I go to trial with no evidence? No. They want to give me no evidence because they want to force me into a deal. I tell them, how do you expect me to make a clear decision on this deal until I've seen the evidence against me? That's just common sense, you know?
I don't think they understand that when dealing with you, there's no fucking deal.
Well, there's no wiggle room on showing me what they have against me. That is history, and that is my case, and I want to see it. That's it.
You know, it's interesting because hopefully the next sit down that we do, which will be number 8. This is number 7, right? Number 8.
7, yeah.
We'll have John Strand will be our first interview.
Nice.
J6'r, who just got released from federal prison in Louisiana.
That's
So,
ironic.
it
You know
is.
why?
Yeah.
We were sitting with him like,
A year
last
ago.
year, right?
Yeah, it was a year ago.
So he's out,
He's coming out.
and then they want to put me in.
So he's coming out. You're
Take
going.
a
It's like
spot.
a swinging door. It's like the swinging door in the
So he
kitchen.
shows up, I'll high five him on my way out
Way out.
as he's on his way
Oh
in.
my God.
Maybe
Well,
he can, you know what? Maybe
he
he
give
could
you some
take,
pointers.
he could take
he
my
can put a
seat.
good word in for you.
I mean, God forbid I have to leave.
You're not going anywhere.
But if I do, Tony, maybe he could take my seat.
You know what? Maybe, but that's not going to happen.
Well,
so
God
but,
willing.
But hopefully we'll be able to see him. Hopefully we can make this work, and I'm sure it'll be an interesting interview, talking to him and hearing about what he went through, especially when he was put into solitary for 4 months.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love seeing him. I haven't seen him since he's gotten out. I haven't spoken to him about any of the details about what he experienced. I said save it for when we sit down and talk.
I mean, I heard
So
some
it's going to
things,
be a
right?
first.
They put him in solitary confinement a lot.
Yeah.
And so if that's what's in store for me, I'm going to say this right now. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't threaten any of us.
I
with
need
a good
I need a
time.
fucking vacation, Tony.
Don't give him more content. Yeah, don't give him more content
No,
to share.
I just need some peace and quiet.
Yeah, I think you do. I think it'd be
Need
good
some
for you.
alone time.
I think it's a good time for a drink.
Just me and God.
Where's Will? Where's Will?
Oh man.
There he is. Hey, Will.
Welcome back, Cookie.
Cookie's a great reference to the Old West. Remember
Oh,
those
yeah.
guys are cooking the beans
The
around the campfire?
Wagon train.
He kind of looks like a cowboy.
He does. No, he's got that old. Yeah, he's got an old retro look to him.
He does.
He's a classic.
Well, you know what we're doing tonight?
I'd like to have a Negroni tonight. Classic Italian drink, a Negroni.
We were talking about the Olympics, Tony.
Yeah. I don't know if you had some on your mind about that, but great. I was thinking about it, and to show how degraded we are even further.
Yeah.
So I read. You remember last time we talked about this fucking rapper named something Dogg. I don't like to give people, I don't like
Calvin?
to acknowledge them, right? Calvin the dog, right?
Stoop Dog.
What you call it,
Is
Stoop?
it Stoop?
Stoop. That's good. Like a
Stoop Dog, right?
This fucking loser. Okay, I don't care how much money he has. First of all, he looks like an old black woman.
He does. He looks
like
bad.
a granny.
He
looks
looks
like a
bad.
fucking granny. Okay, and they're gonna make him the Olympic ambassador. NBC is paid him. I read 500,000. You read that? 500,000 a fucking day.
For shizzle, my nizzle.
I don't even want to hear that shit. Exactly, but you would think,
man.
would they get an American hero? Think about.
Yes.
I don't know if you know, because I know you don't follow sports much, but back in the day, you had a guy named Pat Tillman.
Yeah.
This guy, American hero.
I
This
remember.
man, serious man. He was offered a huge contract playing for
Football.
the Arizona Cardinals. He was a star. He was
Yeah.
from Arizona. I think Arizona's. God, he was Arizona State or Arizona. I think Arizona State. This guy was a stud, man, and he loved his country. And after 9/11, he enlisted. I think he became an Army Ranger. And he got killed because of friendly
Friendly
fire,
fire.
which is terrible. Thank you.
What are you making for me?
Well, that was Negroni.
That's a Negroni.
For you, we have a Bellissimo Americano. It's kind of it's just a slight spin on another classic drink.
Which
Bellissimo Americano.
beautiful America.
I like it.
Beautiful American.
I could use that. I
Very
could use a
so
little
beautiful
beautiful American.
That's you, man. Beautiful American.
That one's bitters,
Sounds
sweet
good.
vermouth from Turin,
Sounds good.
Campari. This one is just, I do a little different vermouth with this one. This one's also for Turin,
You are what you
but it's
drink.
That's
an
right.
Amaro vermouth.
But, so instead of choosing someone like him,
They
they choose
Snoop.
a scumbag, woman-hating, gangster rapper,
Pothead.
pothead, pot
I
smoking.
think he stopped, but you know what?
No, he didn't.
No,
The
he
damage
didn't.
is done.
No. He's done.
He was
He's
he
still
was
sports.
he was also as I said last time, he was charged with murder because the
Went to
guy
trial.
is
Yeah.
trash. He's fucking trash. But that's who our country is propping up now, and I blame the parents because the parents are allowing their children to listen to this shit.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks, Will.
thanks, man. Cheers, guys.
Oops.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute, riquezza, amore.
Do I take this off?
So that's beautiful, Will. Thank
You
you.
could do the Godfather. Didn't he put an orange in his mouth?
He did
Mm.
right before he died. So the
I'm not ready to die.
the
so
Negroni
wait. That's good. Ooh.
originally was
That's
an
really good.
Americano. Was an Americano.
Yeah.
And it was simply sweet vermouth and Campari and soda actually.
Yeah.
But what they wanted to do was in Florence there was
This
a man, a
Nice.
count actually. His name was Camillo Negroni. And this man used to go to this bar in Florence. He'd go there almost every day, every week, whatever it was. It became a regular. And one day he said, I need a stronger drink. So he asked the bartender to add gin. So he added the gin and it became a Negroni.
Yeah. Named after him.
Negronis are famous. They were very well liked and the drink of choice. Ernest Hemingway loved them, drank them
Yeah.
all the time. Orson Welles, even Audrey Hepburn, when she filmed the movie Roman Holiday
Yeah.
in Italy, when she was there, she had her compound there. She had a little place where she stayed. When she had parties with actors and friends, she would serve Negronis all the time. But the Negroni that we have here, like we try to infuse everything with Italian alcohol, with Italian vodka, Italian everything. So we use Italian gin, and the Italian gin that we use is called Malfi gin, and the Malfi gin is inspired by the way they make it, the distillery. It's inspired by the Amalfi Coast, and they distill it with hand-picked juniper, Italian lemons, pink grapefruit, and even use Italian water. It's a beautiful gin, and it's perfect for making a Negroni because it's an Italian drink. Why not use Italian gin?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's really tasty.
Yep. So you're drinking the Bellissimo Americano. It's a little
Which
bit
is
different.
similar. But
Yeah,
some-
and the other thing too is when they originally made the Campari, some people say Campari was the very first packaged alcohol, like officially packaged. When to get the red hue that you see in the cocktail, the original Campari they used, I forget what type, but they were insects, and they would crush the insects, and the insects would make the color red. They don't do that anymore. I think they do it in one country. I think they still use the insects in Sweden when they
what kind of
package.
insects are we talking about?
I can't remember the name, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they.
I mean, when my
kids.
kids see ants and they get freaked out, I say, you know what? People used to eat chocolate-covered ants. You know,
I
think
would never.
you would not.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
It's just
I would
my,
never eat a bug ever.
It's my way
I
of
don't like
helping them
bugs.
cope.
I'm afraid of bugs actually. Spiders, I fucking lose my mind.
Yeah.
Don't bring a spider around me. But going back to these fuckheads,
Which ones?
all of them. No wonder. Like I also heard about this guy named. We're so degraded. There's this fucking guy named Jelly something. Again, I don't say his name. He's some fucking country singer or pop star or whatever. This guy's got tattoos all over his fucking face.
I missed that one.
Tattooed face, weighs 400 pounds, looks like a big giant
Jelly bean.
billboard slob. Yeah, And I read that this guy was a drug addict. He was a convict. But you know what? Let's lift him up because that's an American hero now. That's a fucking American hero. Not your soldier or your police officer or your fireman. It's this fucking guy. So they take this guy and some dumbass in Michigan, some dumbass police department or sheriff's department, they give him an honorary badge as a deputy, right? And for me, when I hear about all this stuff, and I go back to the Olympics again, these athletes, because a lot of them are very, very patriotic, these athletes need to start demanding that they start choosing ambassadors or representatives that are held in high esteem, or they're going to fucking walk out. If people start doing shit if people start speaking out for what they believe in, you will see this country change really fast. Even The Rock, that fucking woke guy, the woke Rock.
Yeah.
You know who that is, right? He was even paid $11 million. He's fucking woke. Why did the Army choose him? The Army chose this fucking guy, The Rock. Fuck him. He was chosen to be a like an ambassador again of the Army, and they paid him $11 million. Like, he doesn't have enough fucking money. As an American, if they asked me if I had the profile he had, the high profile he had, I wouldn't charge him a penny. I'll say I'm fucking honored.
You don't want to pay them.
Absolutely.
You've turned down so much paying gigs, and as a matter of fact,
many.
you've walked out when you go to events to speak, and you find out they're charging the public to come and listen.
Yeah.
You say, "Oh, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I want nothing to do with this," and you walk out.
Yeah. People get pissed. I don't care.
Because freedom shouldn't cost you.
To learn about freedom and be inspired to fight for freedom should not cost you a penny.
That's right.
But this fucking guy got $11 million to hopefully increase enlistment. And guess what happened? Enlistment went down. Enlistment went fucking down.
Yeah.
And he
didn't give his money back.
He's not putting his money where his mouth is. Is he enlisted?
Well, first of all, he would be nothing if it wasn't for steroids. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But did he ever serve? Did he ever go in the military?
No, they would be nothing without steroids.
So it's like, do as I say, not as I do.
This guy's pumped up with steroids, and he didn't show up. He didn't show up for, I think, half of the commitments for like advertisement shoots they were going to do. He just didn't show up for special events. Didn't show up. You know, so we know where his heart is, but
something small. But I noticed with the Olympics, I wasn't interested in watching it. I wasn't interested in paying attention, but I'd catch little glimpses. But there was this one thing where the gals, they'd get their gold medals, and they'd all pose with themselves like biting it.
Biting them, yeah.
Why are they doing that?
What is that?
That's like an old school thing, like.
To see if it's
people
real?
would bite a gold coin to make sure that it was real gold. Yeah.
Really?
So it's like kind of like a low trust society.
Interesting.
They're like, it's like a throwback to a time when people had no confidence in anything around them.
Yeah.
So the fact that these gals are like disrespecting the Olympics, the institution, and pretend like this medal isn't real. I don't believe it's a real gold medal.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I found out that some of them have actually rubbed off eventually, and you can see like. I don't know what they're worth, but who gives a fuck? You're getting a gold medal. You worked hard and you earned it, and you earned it on behalf of your country. Be fucking proud.
Well, if it was solid gold, it'd probably be worth $80,000.
Absolutely, yeah. They can't do that.
But it's probably plated, but still, they're worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or maybe painted gold.
Yeah, probably. But
spray painted.
And here's
the French Olympics.
And here's the other thing too. Like I think about this too because I know people. We don't have a TV in this restaurant. I don't put TVs in here because we're old school. Everything's old school here.
Yeah.
We don't have waiters walking around with iPads taking your order. Everything's none of that shit. It's old school here. We don't have TVs because we want people to come in here and enjoy each other, talk to each other, and focus on each other.
Or the show going on here.
That's absolutely.
I mean, because every time people come here, there's something going on.
There's always
a lot of entertainment. Sitting right at this table.
Yeah, there really is. But I think that if you look around at the restaurant when a crowd is in it, you also notice that most people aren't on their phones.
No.
And the reason why is because not having a TV sets the tone. It sets the tone. And one of the things, a big test for me is people come in here and they rail about all the woke shit going on, right? The test, though, is when the NFL season starts. NFL is like a religion in this country, like soccer is back in Europe.
Yeah.
False religion.
Yeah, and these people, listen, when I was a kid, I grew up in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. area. I was born in D.C., grew up in the area, die-hard Redskins fan. Like, as a little boy, like, I had the Redskin little duffel bag and notebooks and lunchbox. I mean, I was crazy, right? And I was a football historian. I was a sports historian throughout my life, throughout my youth. And obviously, when the NFL went fucking woke, when they started kneeling for the anthem, when they started putting BLM in the end zones and end racism in the fucking end zones, makes me sick. I see that shit, and when and then the Redskins suddenly cave and give up their name.
Yeah.
This beautiful name that they had that honored Indians. Actually, the logo itself honored an Indian chief.
Yeah, and the Indians were okay with the Red. They weren't.
Listen, I was a Redskins fan. Do you think I ran around saying, "Yeah, I'm a racist. I love that we get to make fun of Indians"? No, it was cool.
No.
Having that Indian head on there,
It's
that
like
was
an honor.
It was an honor. That was the actual Indian chief. What's up, Will?
You guys hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
What you got for us?
We'll like try something tonight.
Want some calamari?
Sounds good.
Simple and good. With some red sauce.
Yeah, why not? Put a little chili flake on it. We'll do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, but did you ever wear another man's name on your shirt?
That's another thing. So yeah, we're gonna get there. Thank you, man. You're like just throwing me pitches, man. Pow!
'Cause
Right?
I know you.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember as a kid. So let's go back to the Redskin name first. So they dumped the Redskin name, and I would have never thought I would hate the fucking Redskins. But now I want them to just crumble. I want them to implode. I want them to just go away. The fact that they caved like that and surrendered that name.
You know, I was okay with them changing their name. I thought they should get rid of Washington and just be the Redskins.
That's even better. Yeah, that's even better. So just focus on that, right?
Exactly.
Just focus on that.
What are they called now?
I don't even going to say it.
Can't even.
But
It's stupid. It's not good.
I had an uncle who worked for Sikorsky, the helicopter company.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They name all the Black Hawk helicopter, Apache, all that.
yeah,
So
It's all
the
after
Native
Indians.
Americans were down there every time they launched a new helicopter. They'd be out there. They loved it.
they loved it.
They loved it.
So they loved the name.
They felt honored by it. You know.
See, that's what it's about.
Tony, give me your plate.
Anyway,
Thank you.
get some calamari there. Negroni, Bellissimo Americano.
Thank you.
So
You guys
good.
need anything else?
You're good, Will.
If you need anything, let me know.
Thanks for setting this up.
Yeah, you got it.
So you have them doing the kneeling, the black national anthem they do now in the NFL games. Black national anthem before the NFL. So I get these people come in here and they bitch and they moan, but they're the first people I see that run home
And go
and
watch
the fucking
TV.
NFL. And when I say to them, you're not holding the line. You're not staying true to your beliefs. Well, what am I going to do? You know, I've been a fan my whole fucking life. Right? Thank you. It's a big disappointment because you either believe in what you believe in
That's right.
or you don't. That's it. I don't want to fucking hear it any other way. And like he said, I've always said this. When I was a kid, I was smart enough to fucking realize this. When I was I was 10 years old.
Thank
I
you.
remember.
Tony, you want some lemon?
No, I'm good.
Want lemon? Joe?
Beautiful.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good, man. I remember
That's
calamari, man. That's
so
just
good. Smells so
amazing.
good.
The tentacles and everything, and my mom's homemade red sauce. Oh my god!
There's plenty here if anybody wants a second helping.
Thank you.
Who
I
made,
remember-
who made this for us? Philippe made this for us?
I think Will and Felipe. Yeah,
Will Mount?
they worked together on it.
Oh, so good.
I remember as a kid. I'm going to get a jersey, a football jersey, and the guy at the store asked me, "Whose number and name do you want on it?" I said, "What do you fucking mean?" Probably didn't say the F word when I was 10 years old, but I might have. I don't know. The hell are you talking about? I want my name on the back of the jersey. To this day, I have no fucking idea, no clue, how grown men
Where somebody
walk
else's.
around with sports jerseys wearing another man's name on their back. First of all, a grown man shouldn't be wearing a jersey. You're not playing in the
No.
fucking game.
That's
Okay?
right.
And your kid shouldn't wear a jersey with another man's name on it either. You're subjecting yourself to another man.
Yeah.
So I hope men are listening And if they have jerseys with another man's name on it, they fucking burn it. Because it's stupid. It's stupid and it's fucking childish.
Yeah.
And these are indicators of why our society is so fucked up and why women have to fight their men's battles. These little things matter.
Yeah.
These little things matter a lot.
Because men don't want to be that guy. They want to like put on a pedestal someone else. Let him be that guy. Let him be the hero they look up to, instead of being the man themselves.
Yeah, you have 60-year-old men that are wearing jerseys of men that are like 25 years old. Are you fucking kidding me? That's why. Now, I still want my son. He's very young. He's only
Maximus.
Maximus is like 13 weeks old now. I want him to have the same experiences that I had as a kid. I want him to enjoy sports. But when I show him football, when I show him sports, I show him vintage sports. I show him football from the 70s. I show him boxing when Rocky Marciano was fighting in the 50s.
Yeah.
Things even before my time. You know, that's important to me. I want him to, and he gets excited, man. He starts kicking his leg and he starts moving his hand like he's fucking into it. And because I say, like, if all this woke shit stops in the NFL, if they finally reverse course and I go back to the NFL again and watch it again, like, I think to myself, what team will I choose? Because I won't go back to the Redskins ever because they're not going to change their fucking name back. But
I thought they were talking about changing the name back.
no, those guys are
They won't do it.
pussies. They'll fucking never do it. But
Oh.
so my mother's from Pittsburgh, so I'll have to honor her.
Steelers.
Have to honor her and be a Steelers fan. Yeah, yeah. So I show him 1970s Steelers highlights, and he goes nuts. Yeah, so it's cool. But
That's very cool.
How's he coming along, Maximus? What's he doing these days?
I'll show you a picture. Want to see a picture?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh.
What are we looking at? Tell me.
13 weeks old. Just took this yesterday.
Wow,
Oh my God! Look at that kid. Holy shit!
that kid's huge, Tony.
He's-
What do you feed him creatine or what? You put a few scoops of creatine in that bottle or what?
He just took after his dad.
Is that all?
creatine in the bottle, yeah. Creatine and a lot of steak.
A lot of steak.
That's a beautiful picture, Tony.
Yeah.
Your wife, your kid.
Thank
Mom
you, man.
looks good.
Nice.
She's taking good care of that young man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, but you know what? After when we talk about all this stuff and we get upset about it, we get pissed and disappointed on the degradation of where this country's going.
You want some more?
We have to remember a time. We have to remember heroes. There was an Olympian that I read about. His name was Alfred Jochim. This guy was from Germany. Came to America when he was 2 years old, I think. Four-time Olympian, a gymnast. Okay, this guy was chosen to carry this is back in like the 1920s and 30s.
Yeah.
He was chosen to carry the American flag into the stadium in 1936 at the games in Berlin, when Hitler, was running things. And this guy was told that when he was standing there with the other countries, they were all holding their flags. They were ordered that when the chancellor, who was Hitler, when he walked down and he examined the row of flag bearers, they said, you dip your flag. You dip your flag to him. This guy said, fuck you. And he was the only flag bearer that would not bend the knee. He did not dip his flag.
That's awesome.
He
That's
said
a weird.
no.
That's a weird thing. Why would you bow your flag?
They all did because they were scared.
Yeah.
They were told to. This man didn't. You go ahead.
No.
You don't want more?
I'm good right now.
I'm
How
good.
about you, Doug?
I'm good.
So he
It was very good though.
and this guy didn't get paid millions of dollars. Never made a dime from his Olympian performances. Never. But he still said that he lived a full American life, and that he was a proud American.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
These people now are so spoiled. They wouldn't just bend their flag. They wouldn't just bend to like dip their flag. They would fucking throw the flag on the ground and probably light it on fire.
Oh man.
On fire themselves, right?
Make some stupid
Can't do
comment.
it.
No, absolutely.
They
They
make some
would.
stupid comment about their country.
Absolutely.
Or whatever.
And, you know,
Yeah.
we know another person who was at that Olympic.
Who's
Remember,
that?
we met Louis
Oh, yeah.
Zamperini. Remember? That's a good story.
That's a great fucking story.
We should want to do it maybe another time. We can
So,
tell
no,
that
no,
one.
we'll talk about it now.
You tell?
So we
Yeah.
met, Doug and I. We were at an event. We were at a radio, a Hall of Fame radio
Mhm.
event in LA,
Yeah.
and the guest speaker was Louis Zamperini, an Italian, another great Italian, right? This guy, they made the movie Unbreakable, I think,
Yeah.
about him. Angelina Jolie made it, but
Yeah.
she fucked
She
it all
didn't.
up.
She didn't do a good job with
She
the
fucked
movie.
it all up.
If you ever have a chance to read the book is really good.
He is. His story is amazing. Guy was in his late 90s, mid 90s when
When
we
we
met him.
met him, yeah, very lucid. He knew he could talk. You know, even though he was older, his mind was.
He
just
was an
100%.
Olympian in 1936.
Yeah.
And
He was a runner.
He was a runner from Torrance, right? Torrance.
Yeah.
And he was so good that Hitler was so fascinated by him that after he ran, Hitler invited him up to his booth, to his viewing booth, to
Yeah.
actually meet him and shake his hand.
Yeah.
Really?
So I thought about it after. But Doug and I met him, took a picture with him. We're still trying to find that picture.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them. But we shook his hand. So I thought about
You're like 1 degree of
a
separation.
few weeks later.
We
I
took-
thought about it. I thought we shook the hand. That
Well,
shook the hand of Hitler.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Small world.
Crazy. He died like maybe what 5 years
A
ago.
few years ago, he was he was supposed to be the in the Rose Parade. You know, like the what do they call the person?
Oh,
Grand
The
Marshal?
Grand Marshal of the
Marshal.
Rose Parade.
that was a great story though, right?
Is
Yeah.
that thing still happening?
Yeah.
It's not like systemic oppression or anything?
No.
His story is amazing. He was in World War II. I don't want to give too much away, but
No, it's good. Good. You tell the story.
remember?
Tell
Okay,
it.
He was
so
a Japanese prisoner of war, right?
well, yeah. So
Prisoner of war.
He's Italian. Tell the story. It's perfect.
all right. So World War II, he was stationed and he was a flyer, Pacific, and they were on a rescue mission. I forget what position. He wasn't the pilot, but they were out looking for somebody, and the guy, the plane that they're in was not a safe plane to fly, but they went anyway to go looking for this thing, and the plane crashed. There was only 2 or 3 people survived. He was in a life raft for, I think, 40 or 45 days. At the time, was the longest that anyone had been on a life raft. They didn't have a lot of food to eat. They were catching fish as best they could. They were getting strafed by Japanese on the way.
Yep.
And after the 45 days, they end up on an island. They see this island. They pull up this island, and sure enough, the island is Japanese occupied island.
Oh shit.
So they ended up
they're
prisoner of
super
war.
excited. They think they see an island
Exactly.
they're gonna land on,
Yeah.
be rescued, and it's a Japanese island.
Right.
That's where the fun really begins, right?
yeah. Yeah.
So one of the people who was
Oh wait, and Zamperini went to school at USC.
he went to USC.
USC.
And there was a Japanese somebody, I think he was in charge of the island or something, who knew him from USC.
Yeah.
And because he knew, he made it harder on him. So he was there for a couple of years.
Wait. The Japanese guard went to USC.
Yeah.
So
There's
he
a
went to
guard or
USC.
or
So
somebody.
he saw him and he said, "We both went to USC. Let's be cool with each other." And the guy's like, "No, I'm gonna make it really
No,
hard."
he
on you."
made his life living hell for
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So. But anyway,
And then I think he went back after many years. He went back there and met with him.
I think he did. Yeah.
Met with him. They made
Yeah.
peace, which I wouldn't have. I would have
Yeah.
shot him.
But he became a Christian
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you
Billy-
can still be a Christian and shoot your enemy.
Yeah.
when the time is right.
When the time is right.
He hooked up with. I think he hooked up with Billy Graham when Billy Graham was
Billy
just
Graham.
starting out here
He
in
softened
LA.
his heart. Yeah, he softened
And
his heart.
yeah. So it was amazing to meet that person.
I wanted to tell you that we had this nice young man come in here named Ethan.
Mm.
Remember Ethan? He came up
Did
to
I meet
you
him?
and said that he saw
Oh
saw
yeah.
you in the show. Yeah, Ethan. Ethan's a good young man, and he had a question for us. I don't know if you follow any of this stuff, but He's concerned. He's not concerned. He's conflicted, I think.
Mhm.
He said that now on YouTube, they have these First Amendment and Second Amendment auditors. Have you heard about this?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
You haven't
I
heard
haven't
about
heard
it?
about it.
You're up to this kind. You're up to speed on always on these kind of things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to tell you what I think?
Well, I want to see what you think, and I'll tell you what I think.
Well-
But his question was, does it? And I promised him we would talk about it tonight.
All right.
And his question was, do we think that it hurts our mission to defend freedom and liberty, or does it help?
Our mission, or
Just the mission.
the first
the
and
mission.
Second Amendment people.
The mission, just the mission overall. Do we, if they were good, if they thought like we did, and we're trying to, what we do here, we always try to defend liberty and
Yeah.
freedom, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Are these people hurting our efforts or helping our efforts?
Now, who are
I
these
think-
people? The auditors?
The
talking
The
first-
about?
they're
so-
called auditors.
yeah,
Explain what the auditors are.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I
the
don't know,
First
I've never heard
Amendment auditors are people that go to government buildings
Mhm.
that are basically, for the people.
Yeah.
And they go in and they're filming. They go and they film the billboard. They film the signage.
The police.
They film everything, right? Everything their eye can see, they're filming, and it's an audit because they're testing to see if they're going to be stopped. And really, they shouldn't be because.
Yeah.
So I believe these guys are very useful,
Uh-huh.
and I'll tell you why. Because our rights are like a muscle; you got to use it or lose
Yeah.
it. You
Like
got to
that.
exercise it because people get too comfortable thinking,
Yeah.
I'm a government worker, I'm getting paid, but I don't want to be accountable. I don't want
Mhm.
people to know what I'm doing.
Accountability.
I don't like them seeing me. I don't want them filming me. And some of these guys, they say, but you are a public servant. If you don't like being filmed, then find another job
Yeah.
because you answer to the public.
That's right.
And I got to say, Tony, I've learned more from watching these things than any other source. I've learned more about the law. I put into practice, in my local case, I had a court-appointed attorney, and I was asking him to do some certain motion, and he's like, I'm not going to do that. I was like, well, why aren't you going to do that? He says, quit bitching at me. And that set me off, right?
Jesus.
And I go, you're the bitch, you bitch. How dare you? And I start going off on, don't you fucking talk to me like that. Who do you
Yeah.
fucking think you are?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
calling me a bitch? He's like, no. I didn't say you're a bitch. I said, you're bitching at me. I said, yeah, it's the same thing. You don't fucking talk to me like that. You work for me. And if I'm asking you to do something, you respect my wishes and you answer appropriately. You don't fucking use that kind of words with me. And so I made a big scene. But it's partly because I wanted to get rid of his fucking ass, right?
Yeah.
Because he was no good.
Yeah.
And so, he's like, okay, and he got nervous and everything.
Yeah.
So then, like, a deputy walked over maybe 3-4 minutes later after everything was cool. And she's asking if everything's okay. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm his attorney. He's trying to downplay it.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And then she says to me, and you're his client? I said, yeah. She's like, okay, could I see your ID? And I said, do you suspect me of committing a crime? And she says, no. And I said, well, then respectfully, I'm going to decline. I don't see any reason to identify myself. I've done nothing wrong. And she walked away. And I learned this kind of thing from the First Amendment auditors because if you haven't done anything wrong or they don't suspect you of committing a crime, you need to protect your right for an illegal search and seizure of your identity, of anything, because you don't want them to start creating a little secret file on you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like you do that like the Soviet Union, right? Or tyrannical countries. Or tyrannical countries where they don't have the freedom like we do.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do to frickin' speed.
Yeah.
The
But
drag
that's the
strip
thing.
out there.
So I learned a lot from First Amendment auditors. I think that they are testing the system. I think they're valuable people.
Yep.
I think that what they do is teaching valuable lessons on law and because our whole system's checks and balances.
Yeah. Well, the way I see it, though,
Yeah.
is I agree with all that. And I think that, so they're First Amendment auditors and they're also Second Amendment auditors. So there's a little bit of both. And I've seen them both. And I didn't know about this stuff. Like, I don't, as you guys know, I don't follow anybody. I don't watch anybody. I just operate on instincts. And I don't have time.
Yeah.
And, but he brought it to my attention. So I looked it up. And I said, wow, this is really happening. So, which I appreciate, Ethan. Thank you. And so I look at it, and I think to myself, let's go with the police because that's a hot topic. These auditors trying to audit the police. Police have brought that upon themselves, and they did that because their their fucking hiring standards are so low now. They're bringing on ex-gang members, scumbags.
Illegal,
I mean, if
illegal
you
aliens.
we'll get to
I read
that. If you look at cops now, in the old days, you had to have a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
You had to be clean cut. You couldn't even fucking have a tattoo. They're all sleeved now. Like, where does that come from? It's fine. Maybe some of these guys came from the military. I don't know.
The Navy or something.
I don't know. It's fine. But you know what? Keep your standards high still.
Yeah.
You don't need to accept any of that shit. Second of all, like he said, like both of you guys said, you now have some cities, major cities, hiring illegal aliens, allowing fucking illegal aliens to arrest American citizens.
That can't happen.
That is a cause for a declaration of war. We should declare war on that. Unacceptable. And then you have public officials too. These auditors are recording public officials too. And these public officials are people that probably couldn't get a job fucking driving an ice cream truck. I mean, think about it. Like right? They couldn't get a job doing anything.
Yeah.
But the standards now are so fucking low. So, but on the flip side, you also have, I was watching some of this, and some of these guys are wearing fucking masks. They look like social justice warriors, anti-cop, fucking hate the cops. You know,
the auditors, you mean?
Yeah, they're antagonizing the cops, getting in their face. You know,
Are they really
calling them? Yeah, some of them, calling them every name in the. So you also have those guys. You also have like the troublemakers. And I think
but you know what, Tony?
Yeah.
This country was built on troublemakers.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Every single founding
That's
father
what I was gonna say.
What?
Yes.
An insurrectionist.
Yes. The First Amendment. Without the First Amendment, there is no liberty. There's no freedom. Nothing.
Yeah.
And these guys have put themselves in position now where they need to be audited.
Yeah.
But
Are they strong enough? Are they strong enough to take the test? Are they strong enough to keep their composure?
Absolutely.
Because you know what? Not every day is going to be a cakewalk for a cop.
No.
And we want to make sure that they can handle it, because they may handle people that have had a head injury in the midst of an assault or a car accident.
That sounds like you.
I've had a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but not just me.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people,
Yeah.
when they come upon them, maybe I've seen videos where cops are beating someone up who's going into diabetic shock.
Yep.
Because they think he's not complying.
Absolutely.
Right?
I
So
agree.
they start beating him up.
Sickening.
It's sickening.
Sickening.
So everybody should be accountable.
Absolutely.
They make us accountable.
Absolutely.
They record us.
100%.
They are more important to be recorded.
Agreed.
Because they have the power.
I agree. But I think that if you're going to be an auditor, show your fucking face.
Yeah.
Have the balls to show your face.
Yeah, you can't
Why are
be
you covering your face?
Yeah.
You know
Right.
why? I'll tell you that. I've watched years of this, right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So sometimes the cops ask them, "Who are you?" And they just say, their first name. And they're like, "That's it?" And they're like, "Well, who are you? Could you identify yourself to me? Because you walked up to me." And then you see the cops, they don't want to tell their name or their badge number. It's like, but that's their job.
They're required to, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And Joe Blow citizen,
Yeah.
they're not required to.
Yeah.
And what I'll say is this:
But be bold.
I don't mind that they don't. Just because, if someone tries to turn a complaint, they're like, "Well, I need to see your ID." Why? Why do you need to see my ID?
Yeah,
Why,
you don't need to-
why do
yeah.
you need to see my ID if I'm asking for a complaint form?
Yeah.
That's overstepping.
But I think you're showing. I think when you're covering your face, though, you're showing weakness.
Yeah.
And you're showing fear. And I think if you're gonna do it, then just go balls out and do it.
Yeah.
I think depending on how you do it, you can hurt or help the fucking cause. But I think that it is important, and I think it should continue.
There's all kinds too, Tony. There's all kinds.
Absolutely.
Some are more professional than others,
Yeah.
but they all.
There are some just looking for attention. You know that. They're looking for clicks. They're looking for followers. And they're not really doing it for the right reason. They're not doing it because they really fucking care.
Yeah.
They just want to have followers. Then there's the people that are doing it because they really. I watched one. I forget the guy's name. He was a Second Amendment auditor. I watched him in action, and he was amazing. The way he handled himself. I've seen a video of you.
Yeah.
We should share it.
I
I
got
think
pulled over, right?
we should share it. Yeah, you were
So
being an
good.
auditor. It was amazing. Yeah, we have to show that.
All
It
right.
was incredible.
Yeah.
I was so proud of you.
It just came together that night because
I was.
he pulled me over for no reason.
He pulled you over on a night. You had a rough day. As a lot of people need to understand that the government is trying to make this man homeless forever. He's trying to make it so he cannot find a place to live or someone to rent to him. They want you to be fucking homeless. They want to destroy you. They
They
want to
wanna-
destroy your family.
They want to soften me up so that they can like move in for the kill.
Absolutely.
They're trying to tenderize me, Tony.
I think they're trying to tender right. They are.
Not
They are.
gonna happen though.
And you know, when you think about this election, when you think about the two different people running against each other right fucking now, you know, I don't like to talk about the election because I know people want to hear about it. They want to talk about it because so many people are waiting for their knight in shining armor to save them. And I tell people, then there's another group that understand what I always say, which is, you dictate how you live your life as a free American man and woman. But people are so dialed into this election, and I've been thinking about it, and you know, Kamala Harris talking about, you know, equating things like ICE to, you know, ICE, which is the immigration enforcement, to the KKK. Sickening. She loves open borders, everybody knows, but suddenly, you know, the communist, anti-American, you know, party of rejects, you know, they're energized now. They're energized now with her. And what Trump has to understand is Biden made him look young, right?
Yeah.
Made him look young. But now she is now presenting herself as a younger alternative. She's like the new hope and change Obama, but a female, selling her bullshit. And
That's true.
he better take this seriously, because you have so many people, even on the left, and we met somebody here the other night too, saying the same thing, that we should have threw her ass out, but she,
I wish I was here.
but she was nice enough. She was nice enough, and the fact that she had the balls to even come in here, but she's not voting for Kamala, actually. Remember, you spoke to her. Yeah. But
Is she voting for Kamala?
well, we'll get to who she's voting for. But she, but the point is that you have Democrats who could see plainly that Biden was old as fuck. He was a zombie,
He looked bad. I mean,
and he was useless, right? And they were either going to hold their fucking nose and vote for Trump, or maybe just sit out the election.
Yeah.
But now with Kamala, they're like, okay, we have somebody we can vote for now. So you have that block of voters that are going to run to her.
She's dumb as dirt.
We all know
She's
that.
got no ideas.
We all know
she
that.
She does no interviews.
We all know that.
I just because Trump was doing this one thing, and I think it's fair. He said, when elected, and I'll say this, God willing, he said he's going to make it so you can't tax the tips on waiters.
And after he does that, he should execute her. But go ahead.
Then she comes out, right?
She's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, she comes out and says she didn't do it, and like it's her idea, and she's getting all this credit for it. How come she didn't do it already? Her administration's already in power,
ideas.
and instead
Stealing
they are, but not even stealing. It's lying, because they
They
brought in more people to take taxes.
Yeah.
And they're hitting people harder with tax collections.
Yep.
And all of a sudden now she's gonna do the opposite. No, she's a liar. She's a liar.
She's a liar. Yeah, and she's got a liar running with her. This what's his name? Tim Wolf, Tampon
Waltz.
Tim. They call him Tim. What, Waltz?
Waltz.
Yeah. Tim. I forgot his fucking name already. Tim Waltz. Tampon Tim. They call him Tampon Tim because the legislation he's so proud of, the only significant legislation he ever passed, was forcing young boys' bathrooms in schools to have fucking tampons in case they menstruated. Okay, and then he's got stolen valor, right? He's got the accusation of stolen valor. This guy claimed
zone.
Yeah, he claimed to be in a battle zone. He claimed to be an Army Sergeant Major when he never even passed the exams to become an Army. So he's a fucking liar.
He was in for like 20-something years, right? 22 years.
Yeah.
Something.
But then he ran.
And he got barely rose. Like
Yes.
he got the participation awards.
Yes, and then he fucking bailed out when he was going to be
Deployed?
when he was going to be deployed to Iraq. I think it was.
He didn't want to go.
He bailed out. So so it's really sickening. But for me, I think that the big problem now, the problem Trump needs to worry about right now is Robert Kennedy Jr. And I'll tell you why. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I had a couple of drinks, so I'm trying to remember his name, but he and to his credit, when I was fighting the lockdowns, he somehow reached out to me. I forget how. He reached out to me, he found me, and he sent me an email and said, "How can I help?" I forget exactly. It never came. He never helped. I mean, nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
But you know,
he kind of straddled the fence on that.
he straddled the fence.
Didn't he Wasn't there an event he had where everybody had to be vaxxed or some stupid thing?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say. Was he? So when he was in the election, when Biden was in the election, when Biden was running, he was taking votes away from Biden. But now, the new polls show that with Kamala in the race, he's now taking votes away from Trump.
Wow.
And if you are supporting RFK, you are not a conservative. You're a fucking traitor.
That's right.
And you're stupid.
And you're fucking stupid. So whoever out there is voting for him or supporting him, you're fucking brain dead.
I mean, you know what, Tony?
And you're a traitor.
He got cursed with that horrible voice. He sounds like a gravelly...
You can't elect someone like that. Yeah, you just can't. I mean, you can't lead a country sounding like that. I feel bad for the guy. It happened to him, you know. But
well, I mean, they elected a guy who shits his pants.
Who was that? Oh, Biden.
Biden shits his pants, right?
Yeah.
Sniffs kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the bar pretty low. So.
Absolutely. But
you know what the rule of thumb is? I'm from New England.
You're from New England. You're from Connecticut.
Those Kennedys are from.
Yeah.
You never vote for a Kennedy or anyone married to a Kennedy.
Yeah. He always said, like, it was so funny when people would come in here and talk about RFK. He would say, "You never trust a Kennedy."
Yeah.
Ever. And I remember people would say to me, Tony, you should do an interview with him. Like, maybe he should have you on his show, or you should have him on a show if you ever do one. And I would say, that's fine. But if I did, I would sit with him and I would say to him, your fucking family, generation after generation, has destroyed this fucking country.
Yeah.
And you talk shit about how Democrats have gone
off the deep end.
leveraged the lockdowns to destroy it further.
But he empowered them.
So why don't you just become a Republican? Like, what? Why are you still a Democrat? Like, how is it even fucking possible?
He's against guns, though. He's against everything still.
This guy wants to take your fucking guns. He wants to ban assault weapons. He wants to cut the military in half of the budget. He wants to cut the military budget in half. He wants to. He was actually considered by the mini Antichrist Obama as his EPA secretary, Environmental Protection Agency secretary. This guy is so busy picking up dead bear cubs off the side of the fucking road, throwing them in the back of his truck. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
This fucking guy picks up dead bear cubs. I mean, look, this was not when he was a kid. This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10 fucking years ago, the guy's running around with a dead bear cub, taking selfies where he's acting like he's biting his hand. Then he goes to a bar, drinks with his friends, remembers the fucking dead bears in his truck, his SUV. So they get together. They think it's funny. They drop it off in Central Park, hoping next to a bike, thinking it was a bike accident, or presenting it as a bike accident, trying to trick people. And they sit back and they hope that the news covers it. The news covers it. They go home and watch it. You know.
I bet the news said, "What kind of sick
getting their
fuck
kicks,
did this shit?"
Getting their kicks. Yeah, getting their kicks.
Yeah.
Like they're 18 years old.
Yeah.
And I just think to myself, how sickening is it that these are the kind of people
They want to run things.
that we have to choose from to lead the greatest country in the world. You think about Kamala back in the day, she'd be selling pantyhose at some fucking department store. I mean, at best, right? At fucking best.
She wouldn't be good at it either.
She wouldn't be good at it. So I think that he needs to get Robert Kennedy out of the fucking race. But the problem is you got guys like Rogan. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
He initially indicated he seemed like he was going to support Kamala, but then he decided he was going to support RFK. But just like before, this guy waffles everywhere. Pressure came. He was hit with pressure from people on the MAGA side.
Or people with just even a lick of sense.
And he backed down immediately and said, "Oh, well, let me think about this. I didn't really mean to say that I was supporting him." You can't.
He stands for nothing.
Who's he supporting? Is he going to vote for Trump then?
RFK,
no, I don't think so. But you think about too, like think about Elon Musk. People jump, like I said before, the last time we were here, you got people on the left that swerve into the right lane, and all of a sudden our side just slobbers all over them, welcomes them like they're superstars. And they see the grift. They see the opportunity, right? So Elon Musk, who supported liberals his whole fucking life, all of a sudden...
He voted for Biden.
He voted for Biden. He supported Hillary.
That's like a failure of the IQ test.
Exactly.
The failure of the IQ test.
Which
Exactly.
makes you wonder about the guy.
So this is the guy that's pushing. He's responsible for the whole electric vehicles agenda, right?
Yeah.
Electric vehicles that will totally control your life eventually. And you know, the next thing that's going to happen after electric vehicles is you're going to have self-driving cars. You're going to force that on you. Then after that, they're going to say only a certain amount of people can purchase government vehicles. Like one out of 100 people get to own a government manufactured vehicle, right? This is the vehicle you get to own. The rest of you don't. Think about going back to the Olympics again. They're already saying the fucking mayor, that bitch Bass in LA, she's already saying that she's gonna have a no-car Olympics. They're heading in that direction. Elon Musk started it, and I saw a thing with Tucker fucking Carlson, and don't forget he was a liberal too. Yeah. Listen, Tucker Carlson. During the fucking lockdowns, he was my enemy because as I was trying to fight everybody, defending liberty and freedom, he was saying, folks, take this seriously. This is a very serious virus. What are you doing? Stay home, mask up. He fucking said it. I have the video.
People you trust, people you probably voted for, have spent weeks minimizing what is clearly a very serious problem. It's just partisan politics, they say. Calm down. In the end, this is just like the flu, and people die from that every year. Coronavirus will pass, and when it does, we will feel foolish for worrying about it. That's their position. No doubt these people have good intentions as they say this, many of them anyway. They may not know any better. Maybe they're just not paying attention. Or maybe they believe they're serving some higher cause by shading reality. Nobody wants to be manipulated by a corrupt media establishment, and it is corrupt. And there's an election coming up. Best not to say anything that might help the other side. We get it. But they're wrong. The Chinese coronavirus is a major event. It will affect your life. And by the way, it's definitely not just the flu. Consider what's happening in Italy. Italy isn't authoritarian like China, and it's not backward like Iran. It is a modern, developed Western country, in many ways like our country. As of tonight, coronavirus has brought Italy to a standstill. The Prime Minister has suspended all travel throughout the country unless it's for work, health, or emergencies. All museums and archaeological sites are closed. All public gatherings have been banned. Sporting events are now canceled entirely for the first time since the Second World War. In effect, the entire country is locked down tonight. Over the weekend, prisoners rioted, causing several deaths. Italy is now suffering almost 100 casualties, people who've died every day from the virus. That's far worse than here. But the only difference likely is time. Early evidence suggests it takes about 6 days for the number of coronavirus cases to double. If that trend holds here in the United States, it will be just a few weeks until we are where Italy is now. In a few months, if nothing stops the virus, there will be millions of cases here. But staying calm is not the same as remaining complacent. It does not mean assuring people that everything will be fine. We don't know that. Instead, it's better to tell the truth. In the end, you may be given the option to work from home, but eventually you may be ordered to do that.
This fucking guy is sitting on his farm, okay? Yeah. I just saw it just the other day. Sitting on his fucking farm, and he's talking about how his pal, these are all fucking rich guys. These are all fucking rich guys that made money being freedom fighters. We haven't made shit. We're just guys sitting around, sacrificing everything, laying shit on the line.
Treasures in heaven. We made that.
Yeah, I love that.
Treasures in heaven.
Amen. Amen, brother. So he's sitting there, Tucker's on his ranch, talking about how he says, you know, Elon Musk, my friend Elon Musk, is sending me a Cybertruck. He's sending me a Cybertruck to test drive. And in the same breath, he's saying, but you know, we're all going to be forced soon, probably sooner than later, to all drive electric vehicles. Why would you even say forced and sooner than later? Like, why would you even admit to that?
Because he's part of it.
He's fucking part of it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, exactly, he's pushing that. He's making it seem acceptable.
Yep.
Right? He's introducing this idea. And our cars is something that distinguishes America from the rest of the world because it's our freedom. get your
Exactly.
kicks on Route 66.
Exactly.
People could just drive. They could go anywhere in the country. They didn't need to have like a permit to travel.
Yeah.
They could go and they could make a life wherever they wanted.
God, so
they
great.
could go make
saying that.
whatever the road took them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's beautiful. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So, so by him endorsing what he's doing, exactly what Kim said, he's part of it.
I know.
And these are tools of tyranny. These electric cars are tools of tyranny for sure. And that's why for me it's hard to. That's why I don't follow anybody or listen to anybody or get my information from anybody, because it's hard to trust anybody in a leadership position.
Yeah.
Or a pundit
Even
or
the
an expert.
local politicians, you ask them about Columbus Day, right?
Yeah.
They're all trying to tout how they're anti-woke and they're standing against woke. Well,
Yeah.
They
Columbus, right?
Yeah.
First and foremost, primary attack target of the fucking left.
Yeah.
The woke, the
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
Columbus, that's their number one. Get rid of him, right?
Yeah.
So what do you say? Hey, why don't we bring back Columbus? Why don't we honor Columbus?
Columbus,
Oh,
yeah.
They're like, oh, I don't know.
They don't want it.
Controversial.
No.
Well,
There's nothing controversial about it.
but people who are jumping on this RFK bandwagon too, they have to understand that he showed his true colors. He picked this VP candidate. Her name is Nicole Shanahan. Did you hear about her?
Yeah.
So she
Big
was
lip.
married to Sergey Brin, who is the co-founder of Google. I mean, we all know where fucking Google stands.
Yeah.
Okay, and this
The
woman,
system.
she's a gold digger. This fucking woman, when she married him, I remember when they got divorced, first of all, she used to complain how difficult it was to be rich. Oh, woe is me! It's tormenting to be so rich. It's very difficult. I've lost myself. I spend so much fucking money. Like, oh God, poor girl. And then she divorces him and she tries to get $1 billion. Okay, $1 billion just for jumping in the sack with him. That's what she fucking did for the $1 billion. All right, let's be honest. Okay, she then took whatever money she got. I don't know if it was $1 billion fucking dollars or not, but she gets all this money, and she fucking dumps it into and supports all these pro criminal rights groups. She's all about donating to the radical left causes. She even put money into a measure pushed by George Gascon in L.A. called Measure J, which basically eliminates incarceration. We know how that's worked in L.A.
Yeah.
So these are the people. These people that I know, that I've heard speak about RFK. I was invited to an RFK event. I was invited by somebody, I'm not going to say who it was, very, very high up. People know who this person is, this fucking group, okay? They came in here.
Big deal.
Yeah, they came in here and they invited me. Tony, you got to come. You got to be there. You know, you're going to meet some high-level people, high-profile people. You're going to rub shoulders with them. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be fucking seen at an RFK fucking event. I don't give a fuck what you pay me, who you introduce me to. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be there.
Plus, you would have had to prove you were vaccinated too on that one, right?
Well, that's another thing. He had people forget that when he was supposedly anti-vax, there was a private invite that got out. He had a party at his house. You know about this, right?
I remember you talking about it.
They had a party at his house, and there was a private invite that went out, and people read it, and it said you had to show proof of vaccination. And when they brought it to his attention, and they said, "Man, you've been nailed." Oh, that's not me. My wife was the one who did that. You're fucking married to her, and you're telling me you don't fucking know that your invitation is requiring proof of vaccination?
So you tell his
Get
friends.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What?
Tell his friends he's got to show me proof of unvaccinated status.
Yeah. Oh,
Only
yeah,
here.
that's what we did here.
Only here.
Yeah, proof of unvaccinated. Yeah.
Let them wrap their head around that.
Nobody ever could.
They didn't get the joke
Nobody ever could. But
because they took it all so serious.
But you were saying even like you were saying, like when I say I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
You were saying you read something today about somebody.
I was reading about Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Do you know him? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I saw him years ago.
I didn't know who Jordan Peterson was until maybe a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been around a while. You know, he's Canadian. We all knew that.
Yeah, well,
That's
And
a problem.
He's a psychologist.
Okay.
You know, he went to. I think he's got a PhD in psychology.
Okay.
And
he was a professor, right?
He's a professor at I think University of Toronto,
Was.
and Harvard. Yeah. And then he got into the social media, the podcasting, all this kind of stuff. He's been on Rogan's show. I think he's now a lot of his content is on that Daily Wire group, which is who's that, Ben Shapiro's group or whatever.
Ben Shapiro, yeah.
And so anyway, but
Paul Rubin, or what's his name? Rubin something?
Paul Rubin.
I don't know, not Paul Rubin. There's somebody else.
Paul Rubin was wasn't that Pee Wee Herman? Paul
Okay,
Rubin?
something like that.
That's right. he's in with
might
Pee Wee
as
Herman.
Well, no, there's the two gay guys. The two gay guys.
May as well be Pee Wee Herman.
The two gay guys that adopted a kid, bought a kid,
Yeah, he may,
Oh my God.
and they're conservators. I forgot his name. Something Rubin.
may as well be Pee Wee Herman. Go ahead.
Well, you know, it goes. This whole thing. He's in trouble right now because he said some things.
Years ago.
Well, even just recently, well, a couple of years ago, I guess. But you know, Canada's got this thing. It's their human rights. They have this. They passed this bill. It's a Human Rights Act.
Yeah.
Where they just made anything you do illegal. You
Okay.
know?
It's like 1984 right speak.
Oh, exactly.
So like I remember this because his heyday really was back in 2018, I think.
Yeah.
2017, 2018.
Yeah.
He refused to like address transgenders
Well, that's the whole point.
by their preferred pronouns.
Yeah. He said some derogatory things about the transgenders back in 2017.
All he said was, "I'm not going to call them. You can't force me to call them her or whatever."
Yeah.
That's all he did. It was weak. It wasn't anything like.
It wasn't really bad. It was all about the pronouns that, you know.
Okay, so what's the point?
What's the point of it?
Yeah, yeah. So what happened to him?
So this Human Rights Commission, they went after him,
Yeah.
and so his punishment is that he has to go through this re-education training to learn.
And he's
the
gonna
proper-
fucking do it?
Well, yeah. So he was fighting it, took it to the Canadian Supreme Court, lost the case. So what I read today was that he's pretty much ran as far as he could, and for him to kind of keep him, you know, he'll lose his license to practice his trade in Canada.
To be a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psychologist.
But here's the thing, Tony. So
Psychologist.
he worked for the university. They took away his teaching position, and he's like, "Fine, I'll go into the private sector. I'll give
Right. And he's-
public speaking events. I'll write
probably
books."
doing better
And he
doing that.
blew up,
Yeah.
right? But now, like what you're saying, what he do?
He's
caving.
caving in.
He caved in.
He's caving in.
Like they all do.
And instead of telling him the way we do it here,
Why is he even
tell
going
him,
to fucking court?
fuck
Like,
off. We're
yeah.
not. You could, you know. And you know what? He should come to our re-education camp.
Yeah, the re-education camp here at Basilico's. We have re-education camp. It's free.
Exactly.
Just show up. You got the balls. Show up.
And
So
what
not
we
make you a man.
We'll turn you into a man.
What
real
we'll
fast.
teach him how to do is to tell that stupid Supreme Court to f off. That's
So
all.
fuck off. So here's the thing. So when I heard about him, what's his name again?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Doctor.
When I heard about him, people say, "Oh, you gotta listen to Jordan Peterson." Whenever I'm told that, listen to this guy, check out this guy, listen to what he has to say. First thing I do is I want credibility. So the first search I do is I put the person's name in a search box,
Yeah.
and next to it I put COVID.
Yeah.
How smart, and how strong of a person he
That's
is.
a good gauge.
How
And
what?
he took the vaccine too.
Yeah.
By the way.
So
Yeah,
I
he
read
did this.
I read that. Okay, I read that, and I saw that this guy said he was beaten down for so long, and he said to himself, "You know what? Maybe to get these people off my back, I'll just take the vaccine,
Yeah.
and they'll leave me alone." Finally, takes the fucking vaccine, and then he says, "Boy, what a mistake that I made such a big mistake. I'm embarrassed, right? It's on
right.
me." And he said they have not let up.
Yeah.
They're still on, ride my ass constantly.
Because you never cave
Nothing's
in.
changed.
If you
Yeah.
cave
I mean,
into
you
the
gotta-
left,
Blood in the water.
they see his
Yeah.
weakness.
Blood in the
they
water.
hit you harder.
Always.
And he's, I mean, I gotta say this. He's been known for like the last few years for crying. So that's his thing.
Crying?
He actually cries during interviews now.
Well, I don't trust
like
a
that's
man
the thing.
that cries.
He continuously cries.
I don't trust a man that cries all the time, and I don't trust a man that never uses the F word. If you don't use the F word, I don't fucking trust you.
Fucking damn straight, Tony.
Fuck yeah. And you know, people like him too. It's like, how do you? Here he is selling. He's probably making millions.
I'm
right?
sure he is. Yeah.
I
His
think I read
podcast
somewhere
is
he was
crazy.
making $400,000 a month or something like that.
Could be easily.
After you told me about it.
Doug, I know your mom's watching, but can I get a fuck that shit right now? Fuck that
Fuck
shit.
that shit.
That's right.
Wait. Your mom. I think you said you had.
Oh
somebody-
yeah, she replied. She watched the last episode. She replied.
What's
Hold on,
that?
I was asking about it.
I'll read this text to you.
That's very good.
Anyway, let me find it. It'll take a minute.
Did she have any comment about me?
Yes, actually, she did.
All right.
Here's what she said. All right, just so everybody knows, she watched episode 6, and we mentioned her. So now she goes, now I'm on the podcast too. Tell Kim I never met him, but heard about him, and now I know him through my TV.
Okay. So she's heard things.
She knows you now.
So.
That's
That's
choice.
like she didn't say anything.
She's a very serious woman. No, I've met her.
No,
She's a very serious woman.
you'll like her.
I don't want to forget to mention again those 3 girls who were killed in Southport, UK.
Yeah.
And I love that the riots continue. I don't know if they slow down or not yet, but keep rioting. Keep fucking rioting, because if you don't, you're going to see more churches turn into mosques.
Yeah.
You're losing your fucking country as it is. War creates peace. You have to fight wars to create peace.
And it's biblical. Ecclesiastes 3:8, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for war, a time for peace. Right?
100%.
There's
true,
always a
and
time
I
for
love
something.
that.
In that order.
Yes, 1,000%. And I think about this fucking guy, the commissioner. I forget his name. He's the London commissioner. I forget which commissioner he is of the police. And he's now saying, because of the racial hatred that our side is showing, that he is now going to arrest anyone, even if it's a social media post, whether you're a UK citizen
Or
or
American.
even an American. You heard about this?
Yeah.
American citizen. He will arrest you because they have no tolerance for bigotry.
So they want to extradite Americans
Yes.
to England.
Yes.
Like if we post something to an English person's Facebook
Yes.
page
That's not
saying,
happening.
Yeah.
you guys go for it. You're doing right. Fight for your country. Stand up for your children.
Yes.
If we say anything like that, inciting racial hatred, according to this guy, this fucktard,
Yeah, exactly.
and he thinks, do you think our government would cooperate and send us
yes.
there?
Yes. I think we're
Well, then that might kick it off here.
I think we're getting close. And I think
Yeah,
that I think that too. He when you think about this, he's talking about racial hatred, but what about the racial hatred of this black African kid that went in and killed these white girls? That's not racial hatred.
Yeah.
What the fuck
To
is that?
destroy European countries, they only do it one way, Tony. Only one way. They don't, Europeans, white Americans, white Europeans in the world, 8 to 12% of the world population. We're the minority.
Yeah.
We need to be protected. We're the minority in the
And
world.
now they're teaching children. They have a new curriculum in the UK now. They're teaching children how to spot conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And how to spot fake news. We know what that means.
Yeah.
We know what that means. They're continually brainwashing them
With
and
words.
programming them.
These words, yeah.
And these fucking people, these people in England. Look, I know they call those guys the ones that soccer goons or soccer thugs.
Hooligans.
Hooligans. The ones that go to the games because they're fucking tough.
Yeah.
We need those guys right now. And you know what? Don't forgive. Don't forgive ever. I read an article recently where it says, people always try to tell me, because I'm kind of hardcore about things, I don't forget. And people say, oh, Tony, sometimes, you got to you got to let things go. And people betrayed my mother, my own family, okay? And let things go, soften your heart. Fuck that.
No.
Because I have read even that forgiveness, not forgiving, can be good for your health.
Yeah.
And I think it is, because when you don't forgive, if somebody doesn't deserve it,
Yeah.
it's more authentic and it's emboldening to say, fuck you, I'm not forgiving you.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is oftentimes weakness, it's self-destructive. It could even be, you could even cause other people to be in danger when you forgive. If people need to be encouraged to stand up for themselves, and when people say forgive me, and there's no reason to,
Yeah.
you need to be confident enough in yourself and what you stand for to say, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Tony, as you know,
Not everybody deserves forgiveness.
yeah, and it means nothing if you just throw it around.
Exactly.
But I've read the Bible a lot. I try to press into my faith, and tolerance is not a Christian virtue.
Yep.
And also, what I'll say is this: I'll reframe it. Yeah, there's a time for hate, but really, you're more powerful when you reframe it to love. I don't want to fight for my country, to fight for my family, fight for things that need to be fought for out of hate for these dangers or these dangerous people or perpetrators. I want to do it out of love for my family, my people.
Amen.
And so if you just remember that, yeah, have some hate now and then. It's healthy, it's normal, it's human. But do it more out of love of your country, love. When you stood up for your mom, it's because you love your mom.
Love my mom.
And that's going to make you more powerful. That's going to make you more powerful, and that invites God into it. You love your country, you love the gift giver, God, and you want to honor the gift he gave you of America by showing your love to God, by taking care of what he's given you. You've got a kid you love, and you want to try to do your best by your kid and be a good steward.
Crazy about
God gave you responsibility over a child, that soul in that little body, but you also want to give him something, a future, right? Because you love him. And that's what most important. Those men in England that are fighting the system that's trying to kill them and their kids and oppress them, they're fighting out of love of their children. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but you know what? They can't be shamed out of it.
No.
But that's when they
Stay the
say,
course.
oh, you hate. For one thing, the Bible allows you to hate. You can hate
fine.
evil.
It's fine.
You can hate evil. You can hate child grooming, child sex trafficking, child murder. You can hate that, and that's normal. But more so, you should love your children. You should love your family. And those guys in England, they can say, you know what? Piss off, fuck off, whatever they say. I love my kids, and I'm doing this for them. And you know what? Jesus said, greater love has no man than this, that he laid down his life for his friends. Why not put it all on the line for what God has given you to take care of?
And yeah, man, that's so beautiful. And thanks, Kim. And nothing motivates me more than revenge. Like I actually, I think I mentioned this already, but I seriously, revenge for me is the greatest motivator. Sorry, I drink.
Well, they got the word
drink.
vendetta.
Yeah.
Io voglio vendetta. That's like an Italian
For me,
phrase.
it's everything. And yeah, I mean, revenge can be sweet.
Yeah.
Revenge is very sweet. It motivates me every day. I have a fucking list, and I
Who's
check
on that list?
You sound like Richard Nixon.
It's getting longer and longer. Yeah, but he didn't follow through. I follow through.
You got
It gets longer and longer every single day. But
Yeah.
one thing I'm pretty happy about is, and I like to share this every now and then, is I got a gift, a cigar, another beautiful cigar, and people love to drop off cigars. So I thought I'd share this.
They know you like them.
Smell that one.
Very cool.
Is this is not the Cuban, is it?
No. So it's funny you asked about Cuban. You know, I've never smoked a Cuban cigar in my life, and you know I will not feature a Cuban cigar on this show.
Okay.
Cuba is aligned with our enemies.
Exactly.
Okay, and you know what? Yeah, the people there, I feel sorry for them. But you know what? I am not going to spotlight a Cuban product on this show. I am not going to smoke a Cuban cigar. People have gifted them to me, and I have a lot of them, and I hold on to them because they were gifts, and it's my way of honoring the people who have given them to me. But I will not fucking smoke a communist cigar.
A standard.
Ever. And I never have in my
No.
entire life, and I never will. So this one here is called El Rey. The brand is El Rey del Mundo.
King of the Mountain.
Beautiful. Look at you, man. The king, yep. And it's handmade.
Oh, King of the World.
King of the World, actually, yeah, you're right.
King of the World,
King
Mundo,
of the
yeah.
World. The king. They call it the king. Handmade. It's really good with. It kind of has a flavor of cocoa, like chocolate, coffee, coffee bean flavor. It's a little bit of spice. It's Honduran actually, and it's wrapped with, as you know, Connecticut wrap.
They're famous for
River
that.
Valley wrap.
Yeah.
Um,
Shade-grown Connecticut wrapper.
Shade grown, the best.
Yeah.
Dominican, Honduran, and Nicaraguan filler. And it goes great with wine, coffee, brandy, bourbon. So it's a nice cigar. But yeah, and I always appreciate when people drop them off. And
What
I-
if
They really like
Stoop Dog dropped one off?
Stupid.
What if,
It'd probably be a,
would you appreciate?
probably be a marijuana.
He'd probably have to
version.
turn that one in somewhere.
he wouldn't make
He'll
it
never.
past the patio.
Yeah.
He wouldn't make. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so I'm gonna enjoy this the next couple days with maybe a nice glass of bourbon.
Beautiful.
You know, it was a good time tonight.
It was always
Another great night.
another.
Always good to
fabulous
see you,
night.
Tony.
I like the hairstyle tonight.
Well, thank you.
I think you were missing a little bit of your gel. Is that what happened?
You know, I'm missing a lot of things. I mean, you know, like marbles, screws.
Ah, you're a stud. You
Couple
look
of
great.
screws. Oh, you got all your screws. There's just a few loose ones.
Yeah.
You too, Doug. Oh, I'm out of here.
The man in
All right.
black. You going out into the night? Huh?
Yeah, I was going to tell you. For now on, like I wear different suits, different color suits. But I think, you know what? For now on, when we do this, when we do these sit downs, I'm going to wear a black suit each time.
You know, it's
It's
becoming.
just easier. It's just easier. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
You know why, Tony?
Yeah.
Because you're a character.
You're a
You're a
character.
You're a character.
No. You are a character, all right. Anyway, I love you both.
All right.
Love you, Tony.
All right. I'll
See
talk
you
to you
guys,
soon.
okay?
Man. Drive safe.
Okay, man.
See you, Tony.
Oh.
So back to the Olympics, right?
Yes. Talk about the break dancing.
The break
How
dancer.
come we're losing? LA Olympics are not doing the break dancing.
She ruined it for everybody, but I guess you'd call that a showstopper.
Yes.